Zion Williamson, the name once whispered in the same breath as LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal. A generational talent, a force of nature, a future NBA legend in the making, or so we thought. Today, his name sparks something entirely different: frustration, doubt, and a question that looms larger with every passing season. What went wrong? The most electrifying prospect we've seen in years, destined to dominate the league, sidelined more often than not. It's a story of brilliance, fragility, and unfulfilled promise. But here's the twist. This story isn't over. Zion's legacy hangs in the balance, and what happens next could either redefine him or cement him as one of basketball's greatest what-ifs. What happened to Zion Williamson? And more importantly, is there still time to save his career? Zion was supposed to be the guy, the generational talent, the unstoppable force who would shake up the league. But somewhere along the way, that dream started to unravel. And now when you hear his name, it's not just about jaw-dropping highlights anymore. It's about frustration, doubt, and $1 million question. What went wrong? And perhaps more importantly, can it still be fixed? Let's rewind the tape to 2019. Zion wasn't just a college star, he was a phenomenon. At Duke, he was like a superhero in sneakers. When he jumped, it felt like gravity gave him a pass. Dunks, blocks, coast-to-coast plays, every moment was a SportsCenter highlight. The hype was insane, and honestly, it felt justified. The New Orleans Pelicans landed the #1 pick in the draft, and with it, Zion, a player analysts compared to Shaq, Barkley, and even LeBron. Just let that sink in. These weren't casual comparisons. This was the kind of praise reserved for legends. Zion was supposed to be the guy who'd change the game. But here's the thing about hype. It's a double-edged sword. For every insane dunk, there were whispers. Whispers about his conditioning, his size, and whether his body could handle the punishment of an 82-game season. Back then, we brushed it off. He's young. He'll figure it out. Fast forward to today, and those whispers, they've become a deafening roar. Zion's NBA story isn't about highlight reels anymore. It's about injuries. Knees, hamstrings, feet, you name it, Zion struggled with it. Since his rookie year, he's missed more games than he's played. Let that sink in for a moment. A generational talent who spends more time on the sidelines than on the court. And it's not just about the games he's missed, it's the way it keeps happening. He'll come back, dominate for a stretch, and then, bam, he's out again. As a fan, it's crushing. One moment you're thinking, he's back. This is the Zion we've been waiting for. The next, you're refreshing Twitter to read another injury update. Let's talk numbers for a second. Zion has played in fewer than 30% of his team's games since being drafted. That's wild. Meanwhile, players like Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards, guys drafted around the same time, are not just playing, they're thriving. They're becoming the faces of the league while Zion struggles to stay on the court. And it's not just about Zion, it's about the Pelicans too. This team was built around him. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and a roster designed to complement Zion's unique skill set. But how do you build chemistry when your franchise cornerstone is more often in street clothes than in uniform? Basketball isn't just about talent, it's about cohesion. Look at the Denver Nuggets, look at the Boston Celtics. These teams thrive because they've built a rhythm together. The Pelicans? They've been stuck playing musical chairs with their lineup. And let's not forget the fans. Imagine being a Pelicans fan right now. You've been waiting, hoping year after year to see your team take that next step. Zion gives you those flashes of brilliance, those moments where he reminds you why he was drafted first overall. But deep down, you're bracing for the inevitable. That's not just frustrating, it's heartbreaking. So here we are. Zion Williamson, once hailed as the future of basketball, is now at a crossroads. And here's the thing, his story isn't over. Not by a long shot, but the road ahead, it's not going to be easy. Let's be real about what needs to happen. First and foremost, Zion has to take his conditioning seriously. This isn't about dropping a few pounds or running a couple of extra sprints. It's about completely rethinking how he takes care of his body. Shaq had to do it. Joel Embiid had to do it. If Zion wants to fulfill his potential, this is non-negotiable. Second, he needs to be on the court consistently. The best ability is availability. All the talent in the world doesn't mean anything if you can't play. Zion has the skills to dominate. But until he can stay healthy, his career will always be a question mark. And finally, he has to tune out the noise. The media, the doubters, the memes, none of it matters. What matters is how he responds. The NBA loves a comeback story, and Zion has the chance to write one of the greatest. So where do we go from here? Is Zion Williamson doomed to be another what-if story, or can he flip the script and remind us all why we believed in him in the first place? The ball is in Zion's court, literally and figuratively. And if he can rise to the occasion, this could be the redemption arc of a lifetime. But if he doesn't, well, let's just say the basketball world won't forget. What do you think? Can Zion still salvage his career and become the player we all hoped he'd be? Or is it too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more basketball stories coming your way. Until next time, keep the faith and keep loving the game.